Right, ladies and gentlemen, Pirelli V8 Masters and Kaltron Supercars heat number 2. Pole sitter Sean Moore, the man to beat. Alistair Brown possibly can create an upset there. Dennis Gaduk and Stuart Spooner are there as well. Ian Parsons, Gary Thompson, Martin Bench, as well as Ken Finneran. In the Supercars, we've got the likes of Ernest Page, Glenn Phillips, Andrew Moffat, Kyle Alec, Bradley Fenner, Shane Boscombe, Nashlin Schloss, Leon Chetty, Craig Hume, and Robin de Vos. And, well, you know what? It's a class all on its own, and it is, oh, that class must be what? Frankie, help me, about 35 years old?
For V8s?
No, the Supercars.
No, they started in 1997.
Oh, there we go. 97, that's 28 years old.
It's quite a while ago.
Yeah, I was still a teenager.
I was just past that.
I remember that at the end of 1995. At the end of 1995, it was the end of the Western Province Super Saloon era. And then in 1997, the late Owen Ashley came up with the Formula Supercars, and myself and the late Brian Peake were still invited that Wednesday evening to the launch at Owen Ashley's garage of the Supercars, and that was back in 97. But there were like some seriously hectic names like Brian Bright, Louis Powell, just to name a few, that was racing those cars back in the day.
Right, so they're the very apt and very old Frank Yennis. Just gave an update of when it happened. I think, Gary, 1997, I think I was in grade 8 or something.
I was married for 10 years already. And you
sure.
had 3 years to go before you came out of school. Right, going back to the track, Pirelli V8 Masters down towards turn number 1, and the Kaltron Supercars decided they don't want to get lapped before the end of the race. Oh, very, very close. Almost making contact between the front two cars, but it looks like it's going to be Sean Moore that's going to lead them out once again.
Yeah, the man from Ziegler Logistics, Sean Moore, leads out. Oh, and have a look at this. Dennis Gaduk having a look on the outside there of Alistair Brown. And, oh, a couple of lockups coming out of the Supercars there in Castro Corner. They're in a hurry. They want to get going. Glenn Phillips sits out there together with Andrew Moffat, Kyle Halleck, and also Ernest Page is in there. Page been relegated down to P4. So everything happening down there as they work their way through Damstep. Coming up towards the Sorrel Sweepers, the V8 Masters in those 345 APVs. And I tell you what, they are rocking and rolling, and Sean Moore's got his hands full as he works his way down the back straight.
Barely holding on to it, but he does manage to actually do it now. Dennis Gaduk is right in there as well. In fact, he's got himself up onto the inside line. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it under braking, just about. He's right up, they make contact, and unfortunately that is right in front of the oncoming pack.
Well, it's a bit of a downfall there for the likes of Dennis Gaduk. He's been reeled out there. We've got Stuart Spooner, so they work their way over and change there. Moore, followed by Brown, followed by Spooner, Finneran, Thompson, Bench, Moffat, Phillips. Moffat leading out the Supercars there with Glenn Phillips, Kyle Alec up to P3 ahead of Ernest Page. And getting a bit mixed up there with the V8 Master cars. And I tell you what, that just creates more of a race.
Well, he's going to have to now get through the Kaltron Supercars. He's trying to overlook right around the outside without affecting their race at all. So right around the outside he will go. Moffat, Phillips and Halleck, the cars that's nearest to that V8 Master. But hopefully he will get through there. Probably when he comes up the Tygerberg straight, he'll be able to work his way through. He'll just put the power down now, move towards the inside like that, and move up to the front end. But we've got to go down towards Pertamina Fastron. It's all about, once again, Sean Moore that is in the lead from Alistair Brown, Spooner and Finneran, pretty close to one another.
Right, ex-South African Supercar champion Sean Moore showing them the way around in the Ziegler Logistics sponsored vehicle. And Alistair Brown, Stuart Spooner, Ken Finneran, Gary Thompson, Martin Bench. And then there's Moffat leading out Glenn Phillips in the Supercars. And I see that Ernest Page has managed to get past Kyle Halleck. There's Page in picture with Halleck up behind him.
Yep, he's just made it, but Halleck is right there with him. He'll probably have a look to see if he can make a plan going down towards turn number 1. Page, pretty confident, stays on the outside line. It's Moffat from Phillips. Page on the outside line. It doesn't cost him. Yep, he was confident, but he was confident for a good reason. He held it all together.
Right up behind them there, Boscombe, Slost, and De Vos all embroiled in a little bit of battle, but back up to Sarl Sweep as Sean Moore weaves his way through there. He's been followed there by Alistair Brown. Alistair Brown, probably the nearest contender. Stuart Spooner, Ken Finneran comes up there behind him. And then a little bit further back is Gary Thompson and Martin Bench, followed there by first the Supercars. And then here come the Supercars. It's going to be Moffat ahead of Glenn Phillips. Ah, Glenn Phillips is right on the tailgate there of Moffat. So Moffat's got his hands full. And this little battle royal has been brewing on for years, not just for months.
Well, I'm back. And yeah, we carry on. This time around, however, Ernest Page not leading out, not like he was in race number 1. And between these two, one of the Pro Oil cars, the other one of the 3 is just holding out from Andrew Moffat. He'll stuff his nose in and he'll hold him off from the space frame chassis that is the Opel Kaltron Supercars. Then you see Kyle Halleck. There's Bradley Fenner as coming by, is Ken Finneran in that block coin APV Mustang. Then we see the likes of Shane Boscombe up into 6th in class as we jump back to the leaders, and the lead change again for class between Andrew Moffat and Glenn Phillips as they go through block coin corner. They'll have that Mustang just there in frame. Come and feast on them in a little bit of time with 5 laps left to go. So they're going to watch out as they will be a back marker, not a back marker very soon, but they'll have the Mustang coming up the back of them very soon.
Well, Kyle Halleck lies there in 3rd place. We drop down to Perdimina Fastron. There's your race leader, Sean Moore. And Moore consolidating his position at the moment. When he's got some free air, he'll get the hammer down and get away from 2nd place man, Alistair Brown. Brown's there in 2nd. 3rd and 4th up behind him is Stuart Spooner and Gary Thompson. And then a little bit further back with the likes there of Martin Bench. And joining him now could be, I think could be possibly Finneran that's moved up through the ranks.
Yep, here we go once again,
right,
side by side, sorry Francois, as they go through and look at the predator that's about to catch the prey. Ken Finneran in that block coin number 44 is going to have to make his way by cleanly, and he should have the straight line speed from that APV V8. But no, what he actually does is he backs off and he lets them go. I think, you know what, in actual fact, maybe he knows he can't catch the rest of them, so he's just watching this fun little battle before he interrupts too much. So he'll probably wait for the back straight to try and get by. But Andrew Moffat still holds out ahead of Glenn Phillips. Then we see Bradley Fenner. So where Kyle Halleck has gone, that is a bit of a confusion, and I lie, sorry. The camera just jumped past. Kyle Halleck still sits there in 3rd. Then it's Bradley Fenner. Then it's Shane Boscombe up into 5th in class, which is a brilliant result for him currently. Then De Vos just behind. Then Nashwin Slosh. That is these cars, the grey, white, and white. That will be Boscombe, De Vos, and Schloss. Then it is Craig Hume. And Ernest Page has dropped out of this race some way or another. I think he's pulled that car into the pit because as on the sheet it says he's 2 laps down, as is Leon Chetty.
Well, starting his third last lap now, Sean Moore works his way up towards Castrol Corner, followed there by Alistair Brown. And there comes Alistair Brown into picture. Moore now already taken the corner. Up behind them is going to be Stuart Spooner and Gary Thompson. And it's nice and tight now as they go into Castrol Corner. Nose to tail stuff. They're having a bit of a fight there for the last foot in the podium. So nothing untoward there. There is Alistair Brown in picture now going through Damstep. Behind him, Spooner and Thompson. Right. Having a look down into turn 1. Finneran coming in there. But there's the lead of Moffat and Glenn Phillips on the Supercars.
So as you see, that 44 of Ken Finneran does make his way by. Then there's Kyle Halleck in that 3rd spot like we thought. Then there's Bradley Fenner. And in this 3-way battle, that'll be for 5, 6, and 7. So they're fighting it out for the top 5, which is always a nice place to finish. It is De Vos that gets by Shane Boscombe, with Ernest Page rather at the back of that group. Then it's Nashveen Slosh. Sorry, I lie. So I'm looking on the screen. The timing on the left-hand side is actually incorrect. On the right-hand side of us inside the commentary box, we have a different timing screen. And it's Shane Boscombe, Nashveen Slosh, Craig Hume, and then Leon Chetty, who's 2 laps down. It seems that Martin Bench and Ernest Page are out of this race. As there we come back to Alistair Brown, Gary Thompson, and Stuart Spooner.
Well, the V8 Masters down their penultimate lap at the moment. Still being led out by the likes of Sean Moore. There is a Stuart Spooner coming into picture. Spooner working his way through there. Ken Finneran. So they work their way down. And Sean Moore making his way down now into Berdemina Fostron, just behind those slow supercars there. He works his way in. He'll work his way out now as he comes out, starting his final lap when he crosses the line. And he has got quite a substantial lead over the rest of the field at the moment. It does Sean Moore. Up over the line, gets the last lap board as he goes over, and he knows that he's got one more lap to do to clinch the day in totality.
Now there he rounds the corner. We'll wait for Alistair Brown, 10.081 seconds. There you see that bright red fire truck red, number 22 of Alistair Brown, that comes into frame. There's Gary Thompson and Stuart Spooner. Gary Thompson third in gold class, with the 55 of Stuart Spooner there in 4th and 1st in class. Then it does say Bradley Fenner on your screen, but that will be in fact wrong. That'll be Ian Parsons that sits there in that 5th spot overall. Then Ken Finneran, then Glenn Phillips and Andrew Moffat, but we'll wait for them. Here's this battle once again. That'll be the likes of Shane Boscombe, that is in the middle of the sandwich with his 2 Armour Guard cars, Robin De Vos and Nashveen Slosh, as they go in and out of frame. There goes Sean Moore down the back straight, the Kalani straight, to the final corner for the final time today.
Right, the man from Ziegler Logistics, Sean Moore, takes into Berdemina Fostron for the last time today. He takes it nice and easy. He doesn't have to show off now. He works his way up the Porsche Straight, up towards the city of Cape Town. Castrol Bridge, up under the bridge he goes. Checkered flag beckons. Sean Moore takes heat number 2. He will be followed by the likes of Alistair Brown as all their supercars come through. Here comes Alistair Brown, being chased hard there by Gary Thompson. They come over, Alistair Brown crosses the line, followed there by Gary Thompson. Then it's going to be Stuart Spooner. The next up should be Dennis Gaidik and Ian Parsons. Dennis Gaidik crosses the line. And a couple of cars a little way down. And Ken Finneran making his way down the back straight down towards turn 5. It's Berdemina Fostron.
And as we're waiting for the leaders of the Supercars class, the way to look at it on our timing screen compared to that of the live stream is still Glenn Phillips, Andrew Moffat, Carl Halleck and Bradley Fenner on the lead lap. Robin De Vos is the first of that battle that comes home ahead of Shane Boscombe and Nashveen Slosh, and then Craig Hume and Leon Chetty. But here is the lead battle for 1st and 2nd overall in class. And this will be a fight for 8th and 9th overall on track. Glenn Phillips does more than enough in the 33 to come home ahead of Andrew Moffat at the line. Fierce competitors that are always there or thereabouts between each other, and they weren't that far off one another at the line. Carl Halleck comes home in a good 3rd. That makes it 1st and 3rd for the Pro Oil cars and Hobo Racing. And then 4th as well for Bradley Fenner. So that's a 1, 3 and 4 for the Hobo Racing Pro Oil gentlemen. And that will end their day with the Pirelli V8 Masters and Kaltron Supercars. And quite a fine race it was amongst both classes. Limited incidents in race number 2. And I think that was a good race day nonetheless for those 2 sections.